Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this special edition of Tell Me About Your Damn Book, live at the 2018 New England Authors Expo. This just goes to show that if you're walking around the floor, you can bump into somebody and have an interview right on the spot. I was not prepared for this. I have no notes. I have no background. I know nothing. But ladies and gentlemen, Maura O'Leary is here. Maura, welcome. So happy to have you. This is so unexpected.
I know, but sometimes spontaneity is the best
That's
thing,
true. You're absolutely right. Yes.
So I'm very excited to be here, and I'm all about the creative process and winging it. And
Well, good, because that's what we're going to have to do.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. And hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here today outside and hanging out with Stephen and being here at the New England Book Expo. It's really great.
It is great. There's a lot of great authors here. This is going to be, you're going to see this after the 2018 New England Authors Expo has already happened, so this doesn't help you this year, but in 2019, you're going to want to come down because this is a lot of fun and we're having a ball.
We are.
So you're an author.
Yes.
How did that happen?
I went and wrote this book, When Angels Play Poker, over 5 years ago, and it was a process. It was my first book. Never wrote a book before, never even a short story. Didn't know how to do dialogue, just winged it.
Really?
And went from my heart, and also was divinely guided. And I wrote it, and I got it published through a division of Guideposts last May. And it's been just over a year, and I was able to win an award, too.
Tell us about the award.
So it's with Pacific Book Reviews, and you can submit for them. I submitted for them to review the book, and that was at the end of last year, and they gave me a starred review. And then the president wrote to me and said, did you know we're doing, once a year we do awards, did you want to submit? And I said, okay. And I was shocked because there was a lot of competition, and literally a year after I put the book out, I got Best Book of the Year, Spirituality.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is in first book, 1 year. This can happen.
This can happen, people. This can happen.
It can, you know.
So tell me how God fits into all of this.
So I was divinely guided to write it by God.
Okay.
And I actually will reference the back of the book in a second here. But over 5 years ago, I went up to Maine for a long weekend just to get away. Everyone who knows me, based on notes they'd get, short stories, they would be like, you've got to write. So I went up to Maine with a journal. I never planned to write this. This was not in the plan.
Okay.
But I got up there and it just started downloading. This whole story that's in this book started downloading. I wrote over 4 chapters till my hand hurt.
Uh-huh.
And that's how it started. Then I stopped at 6 chapters because I'm sure, when you're writing for the first time, you get a point, you get overwhelmed.
Uh-huh. Sure.
So I did, but I then had beta readers read it that didn't know me, and they said, this is great. You got to keep writing. It's inspirational. So over time I did, and when I was finished writing the book, and I knew it was going to get published, I sat on the couch and I just had one of those moments. I said, I know I've been divinely guided to write this, but what if somebody doesn't believe in angels, somebody doesn't believe in poker or like it, doesn't believe in the relationship in the book, then what do I do? This is what came back, which is on the back of the hardcover of the book. Every day, God sends you love, miracles, and messages. It's up to you to see, hear, and accept them.
Huh.
And when I heard that, I knew, okay, I got to get the book out there.
Okay.
So I did.
Okay. Now, I'm an atheist.
Okay.
So how do you know that it was God? How do you know that it was divine? How do you know it wasn't just inspiration coming to you as an author?
Well, I asked that, and that's what this came back.
Oh, I see.
I came back and said, is this really coming from God?
Uh-huh.
And this came back as a quote. I mean, I didn't sit in the chair and write like 20 different sentences. Only this came back, and it was so profound. But just through the whole process, so many synchronicities and things that happened along the way, and the book's message. The book's message is how you're loved from above every day by the angels.
Okay.
And that's the premise of the book. But it's also about a guy who's a con artist. I don't really put in whether he's atheist or not.
Okay.
But he gets up to heaven, he's really annoyed because he had plans down there on earth and they got interrupted. So
Okay.
he was annoyed. And
Okay.
so he meets one of the higher end angels and they go through a life review with him, and then they tell him that he's going to be assigned to someone to watch over. And he's then annoyed again because it's not family or, it's some woman he doesn't know. But it ends up being his brother's girlfriend.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that because of their relationship, and he's supposed to watch over and guide her. So anyways, he's a con artist, right, when he was on Earth. A lot of stuff going on, and parties, the whole bit. He's up there watching over her. She lives this vanilla life. Boring. And so he complains again. He said, come on, this is, I had this boring gig. And they said, look, when you're waiting, angels are waiting for something to happen down on Earth that they're to protect or help. We let them play poker. And not for money, but they're allowed to play. And so he starts playing. He gets really good because he's bored.
Uh-huh.
And then he ends up in a championship game like you see on TV.
Uh-huh, sure.
And the whole thing was you could do it, but you had to keep an eye on, Maura on Earth. And he stopped doing that.
Okay.
And things happened from there because
Okay.
he wasn't guiding her. So it's funny.
Uh-huh.
But it's also spiritual and engaging, and it's gotten good reviews. So,
Okay.
So if somebody needs a spiritual, uplifting, funny story, this would be it.
Nice. Now, normally this is the point where I would tell you to tell me about your damn book, but you already did. So
did
that
tell you
sort
about
of
the
like
damn book.
washes the gimmick, but that's okay. You already told me. So what is next for you?
This is the first book in a series of 3.
Okay.
And so I'm just starting to write the second book. And what's funny, it's your first book, you're a rookie at it. When I got done and there's an epilogue, and everybody who read the epilogue is like, oh, what's happening? I forgot to put to be continued.
Well, you can do that now. You can do that here and
can
now.
let
You
you
can
know,
say
it's
to be continued. Okay, good,
But,
good.
So there's 2 more books
Okay.
in the series. And so I'm starting the second one now, and I'm looking for, I don't know how long it'll take, but whatever.
Okay.
And I mean, the journey of after writing the book, I think what's interesting to tell people is you get so caught up in writing it and hoping people like it, and maybe you're going to get a good review from someone. Well, it's a whole journey beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
Because since I wrote it and it's out there, I'm finding there's all these different categories that people would be interested, whether it's vets, whether it's people suffering from addiction,
Sure.
people who are suffering from illness. Like I had somebody from American Cancer Society ask me to possibly talk at Hope Lodge because, it's a book about what goes on up in heaven and how they look after you every day.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you believe it or not, they do. And you need to look for the signs. But it's an amazing part of this that I never thought of that. I just was like, get the book out there and I hope someone likes it. But it ends up being a journey way beyond that.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
So
Well, Maura O'Leary, I'm so glad I bumped into you on the floor.
I am so glad I bumped into
And that
you,
we did a
Stephen.
spot interview.
We did.
Thank you so
I
much
know
for
if you have
spending the
anything
time
else,
with
you're
me.
welcome.
No, that's great. We did. I think we covered everything. You told me
Okay.
about your damn book. People can get it on Amazon.
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and you can even go to my website and mauraoleary.com and ask me for a signed copy with a gold feather in it, and I'll
There
send
you
it.
go. Gold feather in
Right.
it. How much more could you ask for?
Thank you so much, Stephen.
Absolutely. We'll be right back.